With so many titles that explore a range of settings, be it real world or fantastical, there's just something about the post-apocalyptic that makes it so endearing. Perhaps it's that feeling of surviving against all odds, or starting with a clean slate in a world where the old rules no longer apply. Maybe it's discovering the eventual consequences of humanity's actions if left unabated. Regardless, it's a fantasy that many enjoy indulging in, and there are some great games to help with that. Check out 25 of the best post-apocalyptic games available on PC and what makes them so fun. Fallout 4. Controversial though it may be among hardcore fans, Fallout 4 remains the most accessible game in the series, with some of the best combat. The Commonwealth is pretty massive, with multiple points of interest to explore, junk to pick up, and settlements to build. Learning more about the post-nuclear Fallout world, whether it's hallucinogen ink and its suspicious chemicals that drive enemies mad, or the creepiness of Dunwich borers, it's all just so enticing. Plus, you can lead gangs of raiders or build robots with the DLC. Just steer clear of Preston Garvey. Your sanity will thank you. Remnant 2. Gunfire Games' excellent follow-up to its breakout co-op shooter goes bigger with the world generation, weapons, class customization, and challenges. Though technically set in a post-apocalyptic Earth where the root remains an annoyance, players venture to several other ruined worlds, like the corrupted Yaisha, the surreal Ne'erud, or the backstreets and palatial chambers of Losum. Each run promises something new, whether it's a new weapon, new rings, or new bosses that are only too happy to batter you to bits. Mad Max. Avalanche Studios' open-world action-adventure title combined vehicular combat with an original story that saw Mad Max on a quest to retrieve his car. Armed with the magnum opus, players venture into the Wasteland, attacking convoys, scavenging parts, scrounging for gasoline, and assaulting strongholds. Even with some uneven edges, this is perhaps the definitive Mad Max experience, dust storms and all. Death Stranding. Timefall, BBs, Extinction Events, The Beach, BTs, Chiralium, Porters, Death Stranding throws a lot at the player, and all at once, and never quite lets up. Nevertheless, it creates a unique post-apocalyptic identity fueled by the ruined beauty of the United Cities of America. Whether dealing with rogue porters who want to steal your cargo, helping other players with community work projects, recharging your robotic legs, or fighting off a massive BT with your blood, Death Stranding is a standout experience. Days Gone. Though its narrative, world design, combat, characters, etc. don't hold a candle to The Last of Us, at least Bend Studios' open-world zombie title is a better PC port. Too soon? Probably. Regardless, Deacon St. John's traipse across the Pacific Northwest can prove a meditative experience when you're culling hordes of freakers, servicing your motorcycle, or taking in the sights. Deacon's outbursts may take some getting used to, but it's sometimes part of the charm. Sometimes. Metro Exodus. Dmitry Glukhovsky's Metro series doesn't often come up when discussing post-apocalyptic settings, but it has delivered a fantastic shooter franchise. 4A Games' Metro Exodus is the latest and sees Artyom and friends venturing beyond the Metro into the larger world in search of other humans using the locomotive Aurora. Larger, open-world-like environments, crafting on the go, and some gorgeous vistas await on this year-long trip, along with the combat that makes the series great. State of Decay 2 Juggernaut Edition. Right out of the gate, State of Decay 2 faced several technical issues and a general lack of polish compared to its predecessor. The bones were there though, and thanks to numerous updates like the Juggernaut Edition, Undead Labs has built a capable zombie survival experience. So whether you're clearing out undead nests, building a community, or defending against sieges, State of Decay 2 is worth checking out. Dying Light 2 Stay Human. Despite its aesthetics and improvements, Techland's open-world zombie survival meets hardcore parkour title received mixed reactions at launch due to removing key features from Dying Light 1. Nevertheless, it's grown into a strong sequel with more aggressive volatiles, darker settings at night, dismemberment, and improved parkour. The constant spree of events, including an upcoming collaboration with The Walking Dead, make it worth keeping up with. Horizon Zero Dawn. A third-person action-adventure where you fight massive animal-like machines while discovering the world's secrets, Horizon Zero Dawn really couldn't have hooked us harder if it tried. Even without the excellent premise, it provides some great combat, an engaging storyline centered around Aloy and her place in the world, and a massive world to explore. The PC version launched with several issues, but it's much better now, bringing the classic to life in astonishing detail. Frostpunk. 11-bit studio survival sandbox strategy game takes place in a world where the eternal weather has buried everything under biting cold. Establishing a colony with a steam-powered generator, you must ensure its survival through any means necessary, create strict laws or rule through kindness, research technology, and chart expeditions to obtain valuable resources. It's an engaging experience displaying the highs and lows of humanity's morals. Gears of War Ultimate Edition. For those who couldn't quite gel with Gears of War 4 or Gears 5, good news, the original Gears of War is still pretty great. The Ultimate Edition is available on PC and sees Marcus Phoenix and Kilo Squad battling through the Locust forces in a world devastated by the demand for emulsion. The cover system and revamped visuals still hold up, and the biggest moments still deliver. Now, if only Gears of War 2 and 3 could get the remastered treatment. Wasteland 3. In Exile's classic squad-based RPG series returns to the foray with one of the genre's best. As part of the Desert Rangers, players venture to Colorado to seek support and quickly become wrapped up in a mission to take down his offspring. From responsive combat to a brutal world full of dark humor and terrifying sights, Wasteland 3 is a must-play for RPG and post-apocalyptic fans alike. Primordia. A far-flung future where humans cease to exist and machines rule seems to run the mill as far as post-apocalyptic settings go. However, Primordia from Wormwood Studios goes beyond to a point where even the machines are failing. As Horatio Nullbuilt, you must deal with a robot that suddenly barges in and steals its energy source. With its companion Crispin, Horatio ventures to Metropole and learns more about humanity and its eventual end. Even if the point-and-click gameplay doesn't seem the most appealing, Primordia's storytelling and world-building are top-notch. Chernobylite Enhanced Edition. In the absence of a new stalker, the Farm 51 Chernobylite fills the gap, while throwing in a mysterious tale set in the Chernobyl exclusion zone. Along with base building, crafting, and team management, players will discover surreal events and make choices that can change the course of the story. Throw in some heisting and you're good to go. While not quite at the levels of GSC Game World's best, it's still a worthwhile distraction with some unique hooks. S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Changing Tides. S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Lone Sails was about commanding a vehicle in an ever-expanding desert. Its sequel throws you into the deep end with near-endless oceans, but the mechanics of managing a ship, gathering resources, and upgrading remain. The visuals have been improved, and since you can now disembark, there are more opportunities to explore the ruins of the world, including some underwater exploration. Some may prefer the first game, but S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Changing Tides offers enough to stand out. Project Zomboid. It's hard to describe everything that Project Zomboid has to offer. The premise is simple: survive as long as possible against the zombie hordes. You have an entire sandbox to explore with vehicles, items, weather conditions, fishing, farming, and trapping. Upgrade skills, craft better weapons, construct defenses, and much more as you deal with nature's influences on top of numerous zombies. With 4-player co-op support and a more challenging Last Stand mode with constant support and expanding maps, it's perhaps the definitive zombie survival sandbox experience. Telltale's The Walking Dead. Many memorable adventure games have been made under Telltale, with more to come, but The Walking Dead remains its finest work. Like the comics, it focuses on human conflicts and emotions, as escaped convict Lee Everett assumes responsibility for the lost Clementine. Together, they meet various survivors, and players face different decisions with long-reaching consequences. Subsequent seasons have been released, and while worth playing, the first will always remain a masterpiece. The Division 2. While The Division set a tone with its desolate post-pandemic Manhattan, the sequel shifts the action to Washington, D.C. Things are equally messed up as players deal with new enemy factions, the fallout of the Green Poison, and whatever Aaron Keener is up to. You'll help various settlements rebuild along the way and discover smaller stories amid the mountains of body bags and burning wreckage, while engaging in some fun third-person shooter gameplay. Sunset Overdrive. Prefer your post-apocalyptic entertainment with anti-consumerism and stellar movement? Sunset Overdrive has you covered. Set in Sunside City, overrun by massive hordes of OD'd, the player character and his allies must survive and potentially escape. Complete with several movement skills that flow naturally, bombastic combat with extensive customization, and fun activities, Sunset Overdrive is just a blast to play. Hyperlight Drifter. Hyperlight Drifter is a surreal experience set in a ruined world as the Drifter discovers a lost civilization that could provide a cure for their disease. Though it takes clear inspiration from The Legend of Zelda, Heart Machine's top-down action adventure offers a unique aesthetic and challenging fast-paced combat to go with its wordless storytelling. It provides a sense of mystery which is hard to resist. Deliver Us the Moon. Unlike many post-apocalyptic games on the list, Deliver Us the Moon takes a different approach. The Earth's resources in the near future are pretty much gone, and the moon is the only hope for a new energy source. After communication is lost, you venture to the moon to discover what happened and save humanity. Impressive visuals, puzzle solving, and some thrills make it an easy recommendation, more so than the original. Stray. Stray may seem like a lone cat exploring an underground cyber city populated by robots with sweet lighting and atmosphere. It is, for the most part, but there's a nuanced story about the city's purpose, the Sentinels protecting it, and what's become of humanity. There's a strange sense of loneliness associated with it all, but also some hope, even if you spend most of your time with the robotic denizens. Underrail. Stygian Software's Underrail takes place in an underground metro after the surface is a no-go for humans. Fallout is a big influence, down to the special system, which offers extensive customization for your character. Circumstances are harsh as various factions war over essentials while you try to survive the most basic encounters. Punishing but fulfilling in many ways, Underrail rewards preparation and creativity alike. Forever Skies. Described as a mix of Subnautica and Raft, Forever Skies gives you an airship to upgrade and improve as you fly above the ruins of the world. You'll explore these structures for food and resources while discovering what led to the Earth's current predicament. Eventually, you have to descend to the surface where other horrors await. Though still in early access, Forever Skies is shaping up very well, even if the current story is short. S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Call of Pripyat. For all its warts, S.T.A.L.K.E.R. truly is one of a kind, with many games failing to capture that same feeling. Call of Pripyat is perhaps the series' best yet, as you return to the Chernobyl exclusion zone once more, deal with various factions, some friendly and others not so much, meet different characters and pursue side quests, fight dangerous mutants, and survive the random psychic emissions by seeking shelter. Despite how dated it can feel, the tense atmosphere and sheer sense of wonder in Call of Pripyat showcases everything that makes S.T.A.L.K.E.R. so memorable. Hey, did you know that we at GamingBolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell, and let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.